Everyone, hope all of you are doing great and welcome back to this complete full stack NFT marketplace project video. So in this video we're going to build this amazing NFT detail page. Okay, so this is the page we're going to build in this video. We'll have this tab systems. So here I have already opened the project in my code editor and you know the drill what we have to do. So let's come here, and first thing we have to do is to create the page, and we'll call it NFT details. Okay, and here we're going to type RAFCE. Okay, simply remove that and type details, copy and simply replace this. Okay, so this is the NFT page now. So let's create one folder in the root directory and we'll go call it NFT details page. Okay, in this we're going to keep all the components for this particular NFT page. Okay, detail page. So in that we're going to create folder, and the first folder would be called NFT description. Okay, in that we're going to create the JSX file, and we have to create the CSS file for this descriptions. And in that we're going to type this, close this one, and let's come here and create one more folder, and this will call NFT details image. Okay, in that we're going to create two files, so image.jsx, and we have to create the CSS file as well. And here we're going to type the RAFCE, so that's the file. Okay, so these are the two components we're going to import in this NFT page detail. Okay, and let's come here, let's create one more folder, and this folder will call tab NFT tabs. Okay, so let's create the CSS file for this and JSX file for that. So JSX, and let's create the CSS file module.css. Let's come here, type RAFCE and close this one. It's okay. So these are the three components we're going to import in this NFT details page. Okay, now in the main folder we have to create this NFT details page.jsx. Okay, and in the same folder we have to create the CSS file. Okay, so let's click on that and we have to create the CSS file for this page. Okay, so this will call NFT details page.module.css. so these are the folder and file structure for this NFT details page. Okay, so everything's working fine. Type RAFCE and things are looking good. So let's have a look. Okay, so let's close this one and close this one, and let's come to just bring it here, and now we can start working on the NFT detail page. Okay, so here we are, and we're going to import the CSS file and do some internal import. So, and actually I remember that we haven't created the CSS file for this NFT details page. Okay, so let's create that. Okay, so let's come here, but before we do that, let's import all the component in a single file. So let's call it NFT details, and this will call index.js. In this we're going to import the component, and here we have to import the files. So import, and we have to import this NFT descriptions, and that's coming from the same folder. So descriptions. Now we have to import the NFT details image, and that's coming from the same folder. Now we have to import the tab, and that's also coming from the same directory. Okay, tabs, tab. Okay, and now we have to export that all components. So we have to export the descriptions, image, and we have to export the tab as well. So these are the import and export we are doing. Okay, nothing new. Let's close this one and come here, and we'll come here in this NFT details page, and we have to import this. So we have to import the button, and that's coming from the component slash button. Okay, not from button, we're going to import from component index, and we need to have this category, we want to have this brand. Okay, so these are the three components we are importing from component index. Now let's come here, let's come here, and we have to import the NFT details page. Okay, and that's the component we're going to pass in here. Okay, simply call the component, and we have to call the component category, we have to call the brand. Okay, these are the three components we are displaying on the NFT details page. Okay, things are looking fine. Now you can come here, and let's come here. So let's close all these open tab, and we have to start the application. Type npm run dev and click on this 3000, and here we are on the browser. So here you can see it's working fine. Now let's click on this NFT details, and you can see we are successfully redirected to the NFT details page. So that means that our router is also working fine. So here you can see, here we have the category, Here we have the brand, so things are looking pretty good. Let's bring this down, and now we should start working on this NFT details page. Okay, so let's click on here, and here we have to import couple of things. So we'll type internal import, and in this we're going to type NFT to see things are looking fine. You can see here the NFT is displaying. That means our component rendering perfectly. Come back. So let's remove that one, and we're going to import a couple of things. So first thing, we want to import that NFT description, and that's coming from the dash from the same directory. And now we have to import the image, and we have to import the tab. So these are the three components we can import, and now we have to import the CSS file, and that's coming from the same directory. Okay, so these are the internal import. Now we'll improve this, and we'll take a div, and we'll have a class called, let's say, remove that, style dot NFT details page. In that we're going to have another div. We'll have a class called style NFT details page dash box. Well, in that we're going to have that this component. Okay, simply copy that NFT, simply this one, image one, and we'll simply call the second component, this is the description. Okay, so we'll have this two component here in this NFT details page, and now we can start working on the details. And let's come here, close this one, and let's come here. First we'll start with the image. Okay, NFT details image. So here we are, and let's type image, and here you can see it's working fine. Now let's come to the descriptions, and let's type something description, and here we have description. That means our both the components are working fine. So let's come here, let's close all these tabs, and let's start working on the image first. Okay, so we'll come here, we're going to import couple of things from React use state, and it's going to be a use effect. We'll do the import the image, and that's coming from Next.js, and we have to import the BS image, and that's coming from React icons slash BS. Okay, now we have to import the AI fill heart, and we have to import the AI fill heart, AI outline heart, and that's coming from React as well, React slash AI. Okay, so these are the icon we have. Now let's come down, and we have to import the, let's say, TI arrow shorted and TI arrow shorted, and this would be, let's say, up, and this one is going to be a down one. Okay, so these are the two icons we are getting. Simply get back, and that's coming from React icon slash TI. Okay, so we have this icon. Now let's come here. Now let's do the internal import. So we'll type this command, internal import. So first thing we have to do is to import the CSS file. So styles, that's coming from the same directory. Okay, dot slash and CSS file. Now we have to import the images. So we have that images inside this image folder. Okay, simply import it from here. Now we have to come down. So these are the external and internal import we have. Okay, nothing is new, we are following the same pattern, and in this video I'm going a little faster. Okay, so let's come here, and we're going to take use state. Okay, and this will call description, and initially it would be true, and then we'll take another use state. This will call details, and this will be true. We'll take another use state, and this will call like, and initially it would be false. So these are the use state we have. Now let's come down, we're going to remove this, and we can start working on the JSX. Okay, so we'll have a div, it will have the class called style, and we'll call it this detail image. Okay, we'll have another class as well, have a NFT details image dash box. In that we're going to have another div, it will have that box dash NFT. Okay, in that we're going to have another div, it will have the class called style NFT detail image dash box dash NFT like. Okay, like, and in that we're going to have this icon, and we'll call it NFT box NFT like dash icon. Okay, let's provide this icon I, and this will have an icon. Okay, icon. So this is the icon we have. Now let's come down, we'll have a paragraph, and it will have on click functions, and we'll call it like NFT. Okay, and in that we're going to target that if like is true, then we want to render this component. Okay, this icon, so AI outline heart, and it will have the class called NFT like icon, and if it's false, then we want to display this icon, fill icon. Okay, so this is the like and unlike but icons we are displaying. So we're done with that. Now let's come down, we'll have a span and we'll say 23. Okay, here we're going to display the actual data of that NFT likes. Okay, so right now we are going with this hard code. Okay, so let's come down, we'll have another div, it will have a class called style NFT image, and in that we're going to have this image tag, and it will have the source, we'll call it image dash NFT1. It will have the class called style NFT box image. Okay, so that's what I'm calling. Let's provide all tags NFT image. Width is going to be, let's say, 700, and height is going to be, let's say, 800, and object fit is going to be the cover one. Okay, so these are the objects, and now this, as you can see, it's looking perfect. Now let's come down, we'll have a class called NFT box dash descriptions, and it will have a on click functions, and in that we're going to call this functions, let's call open description. Okay, so this is the function we're going to call it, and in that we're going to have this p tag, and it will call this description, and it will have this dynamic state. So we'll say if description is true, then we want to display this icon, otherwise we want to display this icon. Okay, so arrow up, arrow down. Okay, so nothing new. Let's come down, we're going to take this description dynamic block, and we want to render this component. Okay, so we'll have a div, it will have a class called style dot NFT box descriptions dash box. Okay, in that we're going to have this p, and let's come here and simply grab this text and come back and simply paste here. Okay, so these are the texts we're going to type, and we'll have another div, it will have the class called style NFT box dash details. In that we're going to simply take this p tag, and then we'll call it details, and let's assign a class to this. Okay, let's remove that, and we'll provide this on click function, and this function will call open details. Okay, and here we're going to do the same thing. Let's come here and simply copy this entire and paste here and change this to details. Okay, so here we have the icons. Now let's come down, we're going to take this dynamic block, and it will have a class called NFT box details box. Okay, and that we're going to take this small tag and copy this and come paste here. Simply take this p tag, and inside that we'll have this small tag, and that come here and simply copy this. Okay, address, and come back, and here we're going to display we'll have this brick, and we'll have that account address. Simply copy this account address and come and paste here. So this is the detail of the account. Now let's come down, we'll have another p tag, and in that we'll have the token ID, and here we're going to display the token ID. Okay, so that's the complete JSX part of this image section. You can see right now we don't have this like function, but it's working fine. Okay, so let's reload the page and let's have a look one more time. So things are looking good. You can see we have all the details, things are looking everything good. So now let's come up here, and now we can start working creating the functions. Okay, so let's come here, we're going to create a function, so we'll call it open. So what function we have to create? Open descriptions. Okay, so let's come here, we have to create open description, and it's going to be an arrow function. We'll say if description is false, then we want to turn it to true, set it to true, else we want to set it to false. Simple function. Okay, so in this way we can easily able to open and close the description. Simply come down, we're going to create another function, and we'll call it open details. It's gonna be an arrow function, and we have to build the same logic. So if details is false, then we want to set it true, and else we want to set to true, set true false. Okay, simple, false. Now the third function we have to write is for the like NFT. Okay, it's gonna be an arrow function. If like is true, then we want to set it true. Sorry, if it's like is false, then we want to set to true, and if it's true, then we want to set to false. So let's remove that and set false. Okay, so these are the function we have. Okay, and let's come here, and here you can able to see, let's test. Click on this, you can see we can easily open and close the description, but here we have problem in the detail one, so we can fix that also. So we can easily able to switch the icons, but the data is not switching. Okay, so something's wrong. So let's come here, and things are looking good here. And I've noticed one thing, that I haven't wrapped this details in a dynamic block, so we have to wrap that. So simply what you have to do is, let's come up here, and we're going to take a dynamic block. We'll say description is, if it's true, then only we want to display this. Okay, so let's come here, simply copy this entire, close one, copy this entire and paste inside this. Okay, now save it, and now we can easily able to open and close. Simple click, open, close, open, close. So this function is also working fine. Okay, you can see we can easily able to change the states, so it's look good. Okay, this is the other component we have, which we start working shortly. Okay, so this is looking fine. Now let's come here, and let's come up here, and let's have a look. So things are looking good. Now we can start with the other component. So let's come click on this, close this one, and we can go to this description. So let's come here, where it is, here we have it. So close this one, zoom a bit, and now we can start working on the description component. Okay, so let's import a couple of things from React. Use state, and we want to import the image, and we want to import the icon. So MD verified icon we need from, and that's coming from React/MD. Okay, and then we're going to import a couple of more icons. So this is going to be MD cloud, let's say upload, and we want to upload one more, which is a timer. Okay, MD timer, and we want to have one more, this is called report problem. Okay, so these are the 4 icons coming, and the final one is going to be, let's say, MD outline, delete, swap. Okay, so these are the 5 icons which is coming from material UI. Okay, MD. Now we have to import the one more, which is called BS 3 dots, and that's coming from React icon BS. We have to import one more, this will call FA wallet, and that's coming from React icons FA. And that we're going to import one more, this will call FA percentage. So these are the import of icons and external imports. So let's come here, click on this, and let's get back here in that, and you can see these are the social media icon we need in the detail page as well. So simply copy that and come here, and we're going to paste it here. Okay, so in this we're going to need a couple of things. So remove this one, we need only this 4 social media icons. Okay, so these are the icons we are using in this page. Now let's come here, we have to import the, let's say, bid transfer, and that's coming from that BI. Okay, so we'll have options where of the transfer of the token. So for that we are importing the icon. Okay, so this is the icon for the transfer. Now we have to import it, let's say bid dollar, and we can come down. Now let's start working on the internal import. So we have to import the style file, that's coming from the same directory, and now we have to import the images, so that's coming from the image folder. Now we have to import the, let's say, button component, and that's coming from the component index. Okay, so that's pretty simple, and we have to do one more import, and we have to, let's say, import the NFT tab component. Okay, and that's coming from the NFT detail index. Okay, so here we have the NFT tab, which we're going to use display in the description section, so the user can click and they can switch between the tabs. Okay, so these are all the external and internal import we have. Okay, so let's come down, and here we're going to create a use state. We'll say social initially would be false, we'll take on one more, this will call NFT menu false, and let's come down, and now we can start working on the JSS. Okay, simply remove that one, and we'll take a div, and it will have a class called style dot NFT description. In that we're going to have another div, it will have the class called NFT description box, and that will have this comment, because I have divided this description section in 2 components, first component and the second component. Okay, so let's call it part 1. Okay, here we're going to take another div, it will have a class called style description box dash share. In that we're going to have this p, In this we're going to call it virtual and work world, and here we're going to take another div. It will have the style dot nft description box share box, and that will have the md cloud upload icon, and it will have a class called box share box, okay, icon, okay, and it will have an on click function, and we'll call the function, let's say, open social, okay. So when someone will click on that cloud option, it will all open the social media icon, so user can share that nft to the different social media platform, okay, or they can get the url of that nft, okay. So that's looking fine. Now let's come down. We're going to have this dynamic block. We'll say that if social is true, then we want to display this div, and it will have a class called style dot description box share box icon. Let's remove this icon and let's call it social, okay. It will have this href, and in this we're going to display the icon, social media icon. So first one is Facebook, and replicate it couple more time. This will become, let's say, let's provide this name Facebook, okay. This will become Instagram, this will become LinkedIn, this will become Twitter, and this will become YouTube. Let's type the name. So Instagram, this will LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. So these are the 4 icons we are displaying, social media we are displaying, okay. So it's looking fine. Now let's come down. We're going to take this bs icon 3 dot, and it will have a class called style nft box share box dash icon, and it will have on click functions, and the function we're going to call it open nft menu, okay. So we'll come down, we'll take this dynamic block, and we'll say nft menu true, then we want to render this div, okay. So div, and it will have a class called style. We'll call it style dot nft box shared box, and we'll call it, let's say, social. And that we're going to take do the same thing. We have to take the icons. So this time we're going to take this icon of, let's say, dollar, and we have to say change price. Simply we do the another one, and this time we'll have that transfer alt, and this will call transfer, okay. You can call it transfer token, and we'll take another one. It will have that report problem, and this will call report abuse, okay. So these are the 3 icons we have. Now we'll click the 4th one, and we'll take this modern outline delete swap, and this will call delete item, okay. These are the 4 icons, 4 menus, okay. Simply close this one, and things are looking pretty good. Let's come down. We're going to say that we'll take a div. It will have a class called style dot nft box profile, and that we're going to have this h1, and we'll say the beer x, and we'll give this random numbers, because every nft will have a name and unique id, and that's what we're going to display here. So this is the h1. Will have another div. It will have a class called style nft description profile box, and that will have a div. It will have a class description box profile box dash left, in that we're going to have image. We have to assign the source, and we have to take the image which is inside the image folder user1, and it will have all tags. Will say profile width is going to be 40, and height is going to be 40 as well. And we have to take the style, which is called nft box profile box left image, okay. So this is the image class. Now simply come down. We'll take another div. It will have a class called style description nft description box profile left image. So left info, not image, okay, because this one is another div, okay, info. In that we'll have this small, and we'll call it creator, and here we'll have the break. Down below we'll take another span, and this will be the name of the creator. Let's call it Carly, and it will have the verified badge. So that's what we have here. Now simply come down. We'll take a div. It will have a class called style dot nft description box profile box right, and that will have the image, and it will have the source. So simply do one thing. come up here and we have to copy this and simply paste here. Okay, we need the same property. The only thing we have to change is the image. Okay, so things are looking good. Now let's come down and we have to take this div. It will have a class called NFT box profile box, and we'll call it right info, and that will have this small, and we'll say creator, and down below we'll have the span, and this will keep the name of the creator. Okay, so Carly. So here we're going to display true creators. Okay, so let's come here, change the image to, let's say, image number 2, and we let's come down, and so things are looking pretty good. So this is the profile section we have. Now let's come down. Here we're going to take another div. It will have a class called style NFT description box profile dash bid. Actually, let's call it bidding. Let's call it bidding. Okay, and here we're going to have this paragraph, and that we're going to have this verified batch, and we have to take the span, and in that we're going to say auction ending in. Okay, and down below we will have another div. It will have a style. We'll call it NFT description box profile bidding, and we'll call it, let's say, what name should we give? So dash box. Okay, and timer. I know these names are getting very long, but it will save you a lot of time in future when you will refactoring the code. Okay, that's why I'm giving this huge name, so you can easily identify that which part of the component we are working on. Let's come down, and that we're going to have a div. It will have a class called NFT description box profile bidding box timer dash the items. Okay, and that will have this p, will display the number 2, and we'll have a span, and that will say 2 days. Okay, so let's come here, simply copy and paste, and change this to 22, and this will become hour. Close this one, copy and paste, and this will become, let's say, 24, 2045, and this will become minutes. Paste, and this will become, let's say, 22, and this will become second. Okay, so here we're going to display the timing of the NFT. Okay, let's 12. So these are the times we have. Okay, things are looking good. Now let's come here. We're going to take another div. It will have a class called style dot NFT box profile bidding and box price, and in that we're going to have we'll have a div. It will have a class called style dot NFT box profile bidding box price dash, and let's call it bid. Okay, in that we're going to have the price. Okay, so we'll say current bid, and down below we'll have this p tag, and in that we're going to display the price of the NFT with a span. This will contain the converted price. Okay, so let's do one thing. So let's come back to the original application, and simply copy the price and paste here. Okay, so that's the price, and remove this extra bracket from here. Okay, remove this one and paste here. So that's the price we have. Now let's come down. We'll take a span, and this will contain the stocks, that how many stocks are left. So same thing, copy and paste here. So this is the price and the stock we have for this NFT. Now we can come down. We're going to have another div. It will have the class called style NFT box description box profile dash bidding, and this will call box button. Okay, so in this will have the button, and we'll call the button component. We already have that, and here you can see everything's working fine. We haven't provided the name on the button. Okay, things are looking good. And here you have noticed one thing, that this button has an icon. Okay, these two buttons have icon, but other buttons don't have the icon, so we have to do the modification in our button component. Okay, so you can see, let's come back here, and so let's send the props. So the first props we're going to send the icons. So let's send the icon. Okay, because we want to use the icon as well in the button. So we're going to send this prop, and we're going to send the name of the button. Let's call it button name, and the button name is going to be called place bid, and it will also have a, let's say, handle click function. For the time being, it's an empty function, and now we have to send this custom CSS class. We'll call it class style, and in that we're going to call this style dot button. Okay, so these are the props we are sending in the button component, and now we have to do the little bit modification in the button. Okay, so let's come here, go to this, copy that, and go to this button component, click on that, and here we're going to receive those two props. So first thing is going to be the, we are already receiving two props in the button component. First one is the name and the function, and now we have to import two more. So this one is going to be the icon, and let's come back here, and what did we have called it? Classes style. Simply copy this, and that's what we're going to pass it here. Okay, so this is going to be the custom class styling for the button. Okay, and that's what we're going to use. Is simply copy that and simply paste around here. Okay, icon, paste here. Okay, so in this way, if we send the props, if we send the icons in the button component as a props, then only the button will display with an icon, otherwise it will display only the name. Okay, so here we have the icons, and here we can provide a space. So let's type np html space tag, and we have space. Let's copy that class list, and here we're going to provide. Okay, so here we'll convert this into a dynamic. Okay, and we'll take this dollar and wrap this in the bracket, and this is how you can pass multiple classes. If you want to use multiple classes in a single div or a single component, this is how you can do it. Okay, so now we're going to take this, and that we're going to pass the class. Okay, so that's the only setup we have to do in the button component. And if we come back to here, we can see that we can easily able to see the button displaying, and we're having a space as well. Okay, but if we come here, and here we can see that we have some problem in our button structure because we have used that extra space HTML space tag. Okay, so that's the thing we have to fix. Okay, I don't want to have that excess space, so let's come here and simply remove this one. I don't need it. I'm going to add that extra margin with this custom CSS class. Okay, so looking good. Now we can see it's normal, and this one is also looking good. We're going to provide some space in that, not a big deal. We need two more buttons. Okay, replicate that, and we're going to change the name, so make offer, and we have to change the icon, so this will become the percentage icon. Okay, so that's the props we are sending. Now let's come down. We'll have a div, it will have a class called NFT description box and profile bidding dash box, let's call it. And that we're going to take the buttons, and it will have on click functions, and the function we want to call it is, let's say, open tab, and this will call, let's say, bid history. So all the bidding history we're going to display, and simply do one thing. In this we're going to pass this e, so we can easily able to receive that text, and on the base of that we're going to open it, which we are already following in the previous component design. Okay, pass that e and simply replicate 3 times, and we'll have to change the text, and this will become, let's say, provenance, and this will become honor. So if I'm making any spelling mistake, please forgive me for that, because I'm really very bad at spelling. Okay, so let's keep working on it. So here we have all the buttons. Now here we're going to take this dynamic. Okay, so here we're going to have the dynamic state. We'll say if history is true, then we want to display this div, and it will have a class called style.nft description box profile dash bidding box card. Okay, in that we're going to display the tab component. Okay, so NFT tab. So that's what we have, and in that we're going to send this data. Okay, data as a prop. Simply replicate that, and we have to change this to provenance. But what I have noticed one thing, that we haven't created these states. Okay, so what we can do, let's come up here and let's create those use state. Okay, so we're going to create that. First will be history, and this will become true initially. The second one is going to be, let's say, provenance, and it's false, and third one is going to be the honor, and it's false. So these are the 3 states we are taking, and now we have to take the data. So data for the each of the components. So first is history array, and in that we're going to just take the images of the users. So replicate it couple times and change this to 3, 4 and 5, and do the same thing for other components. So replicate 3 2 times. So altogether we want to have 3 arrays, and let's change this to provenance array, and we have to just simply change this users, so we can easily display different user. Okay, so looking fine. Now let's change this to honor, and that we have to change this as well. So make it 8, this will become 2, this will become 6, and that's it. Okay, so these are the 3 arrays we have for each of these tabs. Simply copy that and that's what we have to pass as a props. So let's open it and send it as it props. Now here we're going to say provenance, and here we have to pass the provenance array. Simply replicate it one more time, and this will become, let's say, honor array, and this will become honor array. Okay, so these are the props we are sending. It's looking fine with things. I think we are done with that, the entire J6 part. So let's have a look, and here we have a couple of functions. That function we have to create, and what I have noticed that I made a mistakes. Okay, so simply close this one, and okay, this is the first component we have here, and this is the second component. But why we have one more component? We want to have two components, not more than that. So something's problem I have. So cut this one and simply bring all the way down to here and paste here. Okay, that's the thing we have to do. Simply cut it from there, and now you can easily able to wrap the entire NFT description box profile in the same component. Okay, simply close it, and here you can see these are the two components we have. Things are looking fine, everything is working fine. Now let's start creating the functions. Okay, so let's bring this down and we'll call it open social, and it's going to be an error function. If social is false, then we want to set it true. Okay, and we set the other social menu is false, else we want to make it false. Okay, simple function we have here. Simply remove that and bring it down. We have to take another one, open menu. If menu is false, then we have to set it true, and set social false, else we have to set menu false. Okay, so this is the second function we have. Now let's bring it down, and let's come down here in the profile and simply open that. We have to create this open tab function. Okay, simply copy here and come up here. We'll call it open tab, and we have to receive E. It's going to be an arrow function, and we have to take the button text. So when someone will click on the button, we want to get that button text, and on the base of that we're going to open and display that tab. Okay, so it's going to be e.target.inner HTML, inner text, sorry, and we'll say if button text is equal to what we have here. So it equal to, let's scroll down, it's history bed. Copy that and paste here, history bed. Then we want to set the history to true and set other component to false. So false, and this will become honor is also going to be false. Else if button text equal to, what is that, provenance. So copy and paste here, and then we have to simply copy that, and we want to set this, let's say, set this true, and this become false. Come here, this is the two function we have. Now let's create the final function, and this will call, so we have to change this function to, let's say, change this to open honor. Okay, and we can remove that E, or you can keep it. Okay, so I'll remove that E. Okay, now let's come here and we'll say const open honor, and we're going to say if honor is false, then we want to set it true, and other component is going to be false. Okay, history and provenance false, else we want to set the honor, let's say, false. Okay, so that's the function we have here, and things are looking fine. Okay, simply close that and simply copy this and simply paste here. So this is the second component. Okay, so here you can see everything is working fine. Now let's come up here and open this one and scroll down, and here we have that component. Okay, now we can start working on the, let's say, tab component. Okay, so this is the component we're going to create now. So we have to receive all the props which we are sending. So copy this data tab, and we're going to import the image that's coming from React next image. Okay, and we have to do the internal import. We have to import the CSS file. So this will become, let's say, come here and so start working on the div. Okay, simply remove that, and we'll take this dynamic block. It will have a style, and style, actually I haven't received the style file, so let's do that. So import style, and that's coming from the same directory. Now we can say NFT tabs, and then we're going to have this dynamic data. We're going to loop over it, and we want to make it instant return, and that we're going to take this div, and we have to assign this class. We'll call it style NFT tab dash box. It will also have a key I plus 1, and then we're going to take this image. It will have the source, let's say element, and alt tag. It will have the profile image. We have to assign the width is going to be 40 and height is going to be, let's say, 40. It will also have the class called NFT box tab box image. Okay, so these are the couple of things we are sending to the image. We'll come down, we'll have another div. It will have the class called style.nft box, and this will call info, and that will have the span, and this will call the name. So we'll call it offer by the price and the name of the person. So this name is the dynamic one. Okay, so that's why we are taking inside a span, and we'll call it Schwab by. So this is the data we have. Now let's come down here. We're going to take a small and we'll provide the date, so June 14 slash, and this is the time. Okay, so this is the data we are passing here. Now I think with this, let's convert that into a span. Okay, so with this I think we are done. Everything's looking fine, and we'll come here and we have to receive one more thing. We have to receive the icon, because the owner tab is going to have an icon. Okay, so that's what we have to receive, and that the icon we're going to display right up here. So we'll display the icon. Okay, save it, and here in the owner we have to send the props as an icon. Okay, as a prop. So let's send that. We'll call it icon, and we want to send that MD verified icon. So you can see these are the data we are passing, and that's working fine. Now let's come up here. If we go here you can see we have all the data, and something problem we have. Why two components are open? Okay, something's wrong. Let's click on this tab. Things are working fine. Okay, we're gonna fix this problem. Okay, so things are looking good. Let's come here and let's have a look. Everything's working fine. Okay, we're going to fix this problem later. So you can click and you can switch between different tabs. Okay, you can see you can click and you can tap to different. So let's simply close that, and now we can start working on the CSS file. Okay, so let's come back to the close this one and close this one and go to this NFT details page, and here we can see that. So let's come here in that NFT detail page and go to this. So we can start working on this detail page first. Simply copy that and we can start working on the CSS. Okay, target that. So let's make it side by side so you guys can see what we are working on. So okay, so I'm opening in the not in the Chrome browser, because I was getting that white blank paper. I don't know why. I'm using different browser. So now we can start working and styling this component. So let's assign a first width is going to be 100%, margin block is going to be 5 RAM, and let's target the box, and it will have the width to 80% and margin 0 auto, that will hold the entire content in the middle. Now we'll say display is going to be grid, and grid template column 1.2 FR and 1 FR. So that's how it will look. Gap is going to be 5 RAM. Let's come down, we'll take this media query, and on the mobile device 35 EM we want to make it to margin, let's say margin block is going to be 2 RAM, and box is going to be, width is going to be 90%, and grid template column is going to be 1 FR. Okay, so that's the setup we have to do in the NFT detail page. Okay, so things are looking good. We can easily able to open and close all this. Let's close that one and go to this image component. Okay, now we can start working on the image section. Okay, simply copy that and let's come back to the CSS file, and now we can target that. So first thing we have to do is we have to assign the width is going to be 100%, and box is going to be, let's say box NFT is going to be, display is going to be grid, display grid, and we'll say that NFT box NFT image is going to have this, let's say grid column 1 minus 1, and we have to define the row as well, so slash end. We'll come down, we'll come to the NFT image itself. We have to say the border radius to 1 RAM. We'll come down, we'll target the NFT box NFT like is will be display is going to be flex, align item center, and justify content space between. Grid column 1 minus 1, and grid row is going to be 1 slash minus n. Okay, n, sorry. And z index is going to be top, and align self is going to be flex start. Padding is going to be, let's say padding inline is going to be 2 ram. So that's how it will look. You can see it's perfectly aligned on top of the image. And let's come down. We have to target this NFT box, NFT like paragraph, and background color is going to be our icon color. So that's how it will look. Padding is going to be 0.2 ram and 1 ram. Color is going to be our main BG color. Display is going to be flex. Align item center. Gap is going to be 0.5 ram. Border radius 0.2 ram. Cursor pointer. So that's look perfect. You can easily able to see the functions are also working. We'll come down. We'll target the NFT box, NFT like, okay, and it's going to be an icon. We'll say font size going to be 1.4 rams, a little bigger. NFT box, let's say NFT box and details, we'll target that. And we also target that NFT image box dash descriptions. So we are targeting both the component together, and we have to say display is going to be flex, okay, align item center, justify content, space between, and line height is going to be 0. Let's assign a background color to our, let's say, icon main BG, and it will have the border radius 0.5 ram, and padding inline is going to be 1 ram inline, and margin, let's say top is going to be 1 ram, and cursor pointer. So that's how it will look. Perfect. Here we're going to target that NFT image box details and box, and we have to target that NFT description box, and this will have the padding is going to be 1.1 ram, and it will have 1 ram. Font size is going to be 1 ram. Okay, let's come down. We'll target the NFT box details box P, and this will have line height is going to be 1, font size is going to be 1 ram. That looks pretty cool. You can see this is how it will look on a desktop mode. You can see perfectly aligned. So let's make a normally, okay, it's too big. Okay, that's how it will look. Perfect. And this function is also working fine. Let's look good. On a mobile device looks absolutely perfect. Let's come back here and let's start working on that. So with this we are done with this entire image component, okay, image component. Now let's come here and let's start working on the description section. So click on that, copy this, and now come on the CSS file, description CSS file, and now we can start working on it. We're going to say that, let's say width is going to be 100%, NFT box would be width is going to be 100%, and margin 0 auto. NFT box share is going to be display is going to flex, align item center, justify content space between, positions relative, and let's make it 80. So that's how it will look. Okay, let's come down. We'll take this media query, and on a mobile device it's a 30 em. We'll simply copy that and we'll say 90% width. Okay, so that's how it will look. Pretty cool. Now let's come here. We're going to target that description share box icon. We'll say cursor pointer, and we'll target the box share box social. Position is going to be absolute. Top is going to be 5 ram. Left is going to be 65. So you can see our dynamic block is also working fine. And let's say width is going to be 40 ram. Background color is going to be have the our main color, main BG color, and it will have the box shadow to our custom box shadow. So save it. We'll have the border radius 0.5 ram. Padding is going to be 1 ram. So here you can see this looks perfect. Okay, looking fine. Now let's come down. We'll target the box share box social, okay, A, okay, anchor individually. First thing we have to do is to display is going to be flex, align item center, gap is going to be 1 ram, transition all 0.3 second, easy in, padding is going to be 0.2 ram and 0. That looks pretty cool. Let's come down. We have to target that box share box icon, and not icon, social. An over effect, we want to have this, so background color is going to be our box shadow, and we'll have the color is going to be, let's say, our main color, and we'll have this border radius 0.5 ram, and padding is going to be 0.2 ram and 0.5 ram. Okay, that looks pretty cool. So let's have a look on a mobile device. You can see on over effect we are getting the styling and things are looking pretty cool, and this is how we look on a mobile device. And here we have to do the changes, not box shadow, we have to provide the, let's say, icon color. Okay, save it, and now on over effect we are getting this nice icon color over effect. Okay, it's looking fine. And okay, it's not looking good right now, but it's taking shape. Okay, we're gonna make it more responsive. So let's come down. We have to take this NFT box share P, and we'll say background color is going to be icon color, color is going to be the main color, and padding is going to be 0.2 ram, and this will become 0.8 ram, and border area is going to be 2 ram. Okay, now let's come down. We'll take this box shared box, and this will become, let's say, display is going to be flex, align item is going to be center, gap is going to be 2 ram, and font size is going to be 1.3 ram, so a little bigger. Let's come down. We'll target the NFT box profile, and h1 is going to be, let's say, font size is going to be 0.2 ram, 0.3.2 ram. Okay, line height is going to be, let's say, 1, and we'll target the NFT box profile box, and this will be display is going to be flex, align item center, gap is going to be 2 ram, padding bottom is going to be 1.5 ram. Okay, so we'll have some space from the bottom. You can easily able to switch and open close, working fine. Now NFT profile box left, and we'll say display is going to be flex, align item center, align self is going to be start, and gap is going to be 1 ram, line height is going to be 1, and let's come down. We'll target that. We'll target the NFT box profile, and right section, right info small, and we'll target the another left info small together, and font size going to be, let's say, not fonts, font width is going to be 500. Okay, you can see the both profile, that's what we are targeting. And so small tag is working fine, and what else we have to target? Okay, so change this to box. Okay, so this is the problem we have, so change this to box, and now you can see the stylings are taking place. And simply copy that and replicate it one more time, and here we have to do the changes to span, and here we going to make it. Okay, now we have to target this profile box left section image, and width is going to be, let's say, border radius is going to be 50%. You can see we have this nice border radius, and here we're going to make it to 8, not 500. Okay, so this is little bolder and looking perfect. The name is little bolder, is looking good. We have to take this NFT box profile box right, let's say display is going to be flex, align item center, gap is going to be 1 ram, line height is going to be 1 ram, border left is going to be 1 pixel solid var, and it will have this icon color. Okay, we'll have the padding left is going to be 2 ram. Let's come down. We have to target this profile dash bidding, and this will come margin block is going to be 1 ram, and simply come here, copy that, and come here, and let's have a look. We are assigning the same class, so where is the bidding? And here we have that. Simply copy here and simply paste here. Okay, so both are the same class, and change this to 11. Okay, it's working fine. Let's copy that and simply paste here, and we'll target the P. We'll say display is going to be flex, align item center, font size 1.5 ram, gap is going to be 1 ram, so looking pretty cool. We'll target the box profile dash bidding dash box I timer. We'll say display is going to be flex, gap is going to be 3 ram, that's how it will look, align item center. Okay, we'll target the profile bidding box timer dash item. Okay, and P, we'll say that font size is going to be 3 RAM, line height is going to be 0, width is going to be 900. We'll come down, we'll target the profile bidding box, timer items span, and font width is going to be 600, little bolder, and we'll target that profile bidding box timer item, and let's remove that, let's call it price. Okay, so we are targeting the price section, not the timer section. Okay, and this will become line height is going to be 0, margin top is going to be 4 RAM, display is going to be grid, and grid template column 4 FR and 1 FR, gap is going to be 3 RAM, and align item flex end and justify content space between. Okay, that's how it will look. So we'll target the box profile bidding, and that's a bidding. Okay, let's come down, bidding box price, and this is the price we have. Now let's call it bid, and we have to target the border is going to be 2 pixels solid, and we have this icon color. We'll have this border radius going to be 0.5 RAM. That's how it will look. We'll come down, we'll target that bidding box profile price bid small, and we'll say, let's say font size is going to be 1.2 RAM, and background color is going to be have icon color, and color is going to be our main color. Padding is going to be 0.5 RAM and 1 RAM, and border radius is going to be 0.5 RAM. Margin left is going to be 2 RAM. So that looks pretty cool. Let's come down, and we'll target that, copy simply and paste here, and target the P, and we'll see padding is going to be 1 RAM, and font size is going to be 2 RAM, and font width is going to be 900. Okay, so that looks pretty good, pretty big and bold. We're gonna fix it. Okay, so description profile, and this will become but bidding box price, and simply remove that. It's a button, not a, and margin top is going to be 3 RAM, display is going to be flex, align item center, and gap is going to be 3 RAM. So that's how it will look, the button, and you can see it's looking pretty good on a desktop. Okay, so we have that virtual, we have the icons, we have the name, we have the creators, and things are looking good. We can open, we can close, so it's looking good. So we have to fix this dynamic data. Okay, and this is quite bold, we're going to fix that as well, not a big deal. And this is how we look on a mobile device. Now let's come here, we have to target that box profile bidding box button, and remove that button. We have to call it tab, and top is going to be 3 RAM, and display is going to be flex, gap is going to be 1 RAM. So that's the button, how it will look, perfectly working fine. We'll come down, we'll target the profile bidding box tabs button itself, and font size is going to be 1 RAM, padding is going to be 1 RAM and 2 RAM, border is going to be 0, background color to be having a shadow dark color, and we'll have the color itself is going to be the icon color. Border radius is going to be 2 RAM, cursor pointer, and font width is going to be 600. So that's how the button would look. Let's come down, we'll target the NFT box profile bidding box card, and we'll say margin top is going to be 2 RAM, and padding is going to be 1 RAM. Okay, so that looks pretty condensed, it's looking fine and working fine. Now we can start. What we have to do, let's have a look in the code. Okay, let's come in the media query, and we're going to target that NFT box, and we'll share box social, and we'll say left is going to be 35%. So you can see it's looking fine, and we'll have to say that box profile box, and this will become display grid. Okay, that's looks pretty fine, and remove this code. So now it's looking good. Okay, it's looking perfect. So let's come here, and here we're going to make it 100. Okay, 100. So it's looking fine. So make sure this is the changes you have to do, and now we can scroll down. Let's come here, and if we go to this, close this one and go to this main one. Okay, NFT detail page modules, and here you can see the width we have assigned is 100% and 80%. So the entire width we are controlling from this CSS file. Okay, NFT description page. Okay, so NFT details page main CSS file. Now let's come here and we're going to target that NFT box profile, and let's say box, and we'll target the right section and we'll call it, let's say, border left is going to be 0 and padding left is going to be 0, so that will be aligned equally, looking perfect on the mobile device. Now let's come down and we have to target the profile bidding, box price, and gap is going to be 1 RAM, and grid template column 2 RF and 1 FR. Okay, we'll come down, we'll target the profile bidding, box price bid P, and we'll say font size is going to be 1 RAM, so let's a little smaller, look good on a mobile device. Let's come down, we'll target that profile bidding box button, and it will have a gap point 2 RAM. Okay, and we'll have a description bidding box tabs button. We'll say that font size is going to be 1 RAM and padding is going to be 1 and 1.2 RAM, so that looks perfect. You can see the buttons looking good, and here in the desktop we have to still fix a little bit. Okay, this looks fine, so we can click on this and it's working fine, but we have to fix this. Okay, it's very close to each other, and we have this nice animation, but they're very close to each other. We have to do something about it, and this is the price we have to fix. Okay, so the tabs are working fine. We also have the problem in the tab, but styling is looking good. Okay, now let's come back here, change this to 0.5 RAM and 1 RAM. Okay, now let's look good. Button, we'll target the font width is going to be 500, and we'll target the button itself and the dynamic class we are adding in the button, and that we're going to say button size is going to be 1 RAM and padding is going to be 1 RAM, 1.2 RAM. So that's how it will look, perfectly aligned. Okay, the buttons are also looking good. Now we have to fix this one, and these are it's also looking good, no problem in that. We have the only changes we have to do in the text. So let's come here and let's see where we're having the text. So let's scroll up here. So this is the price width, and that we are having this price. Okay, so price width, let's come up here, and where we have here we have to do the changes to, let's make it 1. Okay, 1 RAM, and let's make it 2. Let's see. Okay, 1.5 is better. Okay, 1.5 is look good, so 1.5 is look perfect. And if we look on the mobile device, it's looking perfectly aligned, everything's working fine, open and close. This is the fix we have to do. The price is also looking good, and we can easily able to switch to between different tabs. Okay, so let's come up here, and so this is the menu component we have. Simply copy that. Okay, this is the component we have. Come back to the CSS file and let's have a look where we are styling this. So here we are styling. Okay, so simply do this to 1 RAM. Okay, padding, save it. Okay, 1 RAM is to 1.5 RAM is look good. Okay, this looks perfect, 0.5 is good, and here we have to make it 0.5 as well on over effect. So make sure you do the changes in the NFT description box, shared box, social A. In that padding is going to be 0.5 RAM, and on over effect we have to also change that padding to 0.5 RAM. So looking perfect. You can see nice over effect we are getting, but we have to work in this tab. So we have some problem in the tab, and if we come here in the full desktop modes, it's looking beautiful. So this is the image component, these are the price box. Now it's looking good. We have this. Okay, and this is the name, this is the creators, this is the auction timing, this is the price section and stock. Okay, auction, we have to change this icon as well. Okay, let's come back here and go back to this JSX description JSX, and let's see where we are rendering that. So let's come here, let's come down, and here I have noticed where we are displaying the timing. Here instead of this MD verified, we have to display the timer, MD timer. Save it, and here you can see we have the timer icon, looking pretty good. The pricing, the tabs, but we have this tab problem in the tabs. So okay, So let's cut that and come back to the NFT tabs and let's have a look. So here we are receiving the data, not a big deal. Let's start styling the tab component. Okay, so we'll target the tab and we'll say, let's open that. We'll say that display is going to be flex, and let's target the box. Okay, align item center, gap is going to be 1 ram, align height is going to be 0, and padding is going to be 1 ram and 0. Border bottom is going to be 1 pixel solid var, and we'll have our shadow dark icon color. Okay, so that's will look good. Okay, looking good. Just come down, we'll target the image and we'll say that border it is 50%, and we'll target the box info. We'll say display is going to be grid, and align self is going to be flex start, and line height is going to be 1, and margin top is going to be 6 pixels. So that looks pretty cool. Now we have to target the info span itself, and font size is going to be, not font size, font width is going to be 700. Okay, we'll target the small, and this will have margin 0.2 ram. Okay, so it will have some space from the heading. Now let's close that one and let's have a look on the full screen, and looks incredible. You can click, you can switch to different tabs, but here we have the problem in the icons. Okay, in the honor. So that's the fix we have to do, and we are rendering this 2 component on the click event. Okay, so let's come back here and let's go to this, and let's come to the, here we are, and let's go to this description one. Okay, and let's scroll. So here we have to do the changes. Okay, instead of sending honor array, we have to send the honor. Okay, so that's the change we have to do. Honor, I made a silly mistake. So honor, and if you save it and come back to the application, and you can see right now we are displaying only 1. So you can click, you can switch to different tabs, and it's working fine. Okay, and this is the icon we have to fix. Okay, that's the small fix we have here. So let's come here, and the fix we want to do in the tab component. Okay, so let's come here in the tab component, and here where we are rendering the tab icon, so here we have the icon. Simply cut this icon and paste right here. Okay, not outside the span, but inside the span we have to paste. Now save it, and here we have the icon looking perfect. Okay, you can simply click, and this looks pretty cool. Okay, and that looks good. And if we click twice, it's getting off. So let's come down here, and here we have to do the fix on the honor, and here we're going to say that set history to true. Okay, save it and click, and it's looking fine. Now it's working fine. Okay, looking pretty good. So things are working fine. Okay, with this I think we are done with this entire components. So that looks good. Now let's close this one, and come here, and let's have a look final time, because we have built this entire beautiful component. And let's see, let's come here, and as you can see, everything's looking good. This is how it will look when someone visits us for the very first time. NFT details. So we have this tab component, we have this nice drop downs. Okay, things are looking good. Do we having any overflow? Okay, it's very close to that. This is also working fine, and our media query is also working. Okay, we are having a little bit overflow somewhere. Okay, not a big deal, we're going to fix that later. Okay, because we are almost done. When we do the final touch up at the end, that time we're going to do this. Okay, I don't want to extend this video too long. Okay, so you can see our media query is also working fine. We can easily able to make it more responsive, looking pretty good. Now, you know, on a desktop you can see it's looking good. So this is the category section we have. Let's come back to the code, and now let's upload this to GitHub. Okay, so let's simply delete this folder and delete this permanently, and let's stop the application, type git in it, and we have type git add dot, hit enter. Now come back to GitHub and create a new repo. So this time we'll call it, let's say, NFT detail page. Okay, hit enter. Come here, and we have to initialize this command. So hit enter, copy, hit enter, copy, hit enter, and copy, hit enter. Just wait, it's uploading. And by the way, you make sure to save the playlist, because I have seen that many of you have not saved the playlist. So make sure you do that, so whenever I will upload the videos, you will get the notification and you can able to have the look that what are the project and what are the topics we have covered about this NFT marketplace. Okay, so make sure you save that playlist and the entire source code in a well formatted provided to you in this article. Okay, so simply visit to the article on my website, and from there you can easily able to get the entire source code whatever we have worked so far. Okay, so make sure you save the playlist and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Okay, and you can see it's taking time a little bit. Just a moment, it's happening. Okay, finally we have updated that, and now let's come to the GitHub and reload the browser. And here you can see we have all the component, description, image, NFT tab, and the files. So things are looking pretty good. Now let's come back to the code. And with this, finally we have completed this entire NFT detail page. Hope you guys have found this valuable. If you have any doubt, any confusion, or if you have somewhere make any mistakes, the code is already provided to you. Do leave your comment in the comment section. Obviously you will write there that what you thought and what's query you have about this project. If you want me to add anything or make cover any specific topics, then do leave in the comment section. I do love to have your suggestions, your ideas on this project, so we can make something beautiful and powerful. Okay, so that's the only thing we wanted to cover in this, and we have finally covered the most important part of this project, which is a NFT details page. In the next video we're going to build a user account page. Okay, and from the next page we're going to build this pages very fast, because we have to do a very little bit work in those pages, so the entire process of building those pages becomes very fast. Okay, so that's it in this video. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you are new to my channel, hit like and subscribe, and make sure you save the playlist and give your love, and do leave your thoughts and suggestion. I would really want your ideas on this, and that will help me to become something better and make something better. So see you in the next video with that user account page. Have a wonderful day.